The Gaffer got Bristol Rovers away tomorrow night. Firstly, how's personnel looking after Saturday?
A few bumps and bruises. Obviously the longer term ones. Ross obviously out and Lammy. Joe Pritchard still, not good news on his hamstring, so he'll be a while. And then, bumps and bruises all over, so we just have to wait and see till tomorrow, see who's patch them up and see who's fit to play.
In terms of length between the two games, between the two teams, it's only just over a month, but they've got a new manager in, Joey Barton, somebody you know well. What are you expecting from them?
I'm expecting a totally different game than what we played at home. And I don't think 6-1 reflected the play, to be honest. I think that flattered us a little bit. And Joey knows his onions, he knows what he's doing. They've had a decent result, and no disgrace to lose to the top of the league at the weekend. So we expect a tough game. We've locked swords a couple of times, or cross swords, sorry, locked horns a couple of times, and they've been interesting games. Myself and Jimmy know Joey well, and the rest of their coaching staff, Clinton and Mangy. So it'd be good to see them, to be honest. And I'm glad he's back in football, and I think he's got a good club. It's a very good club, Bristol Rovers. It's a big club, and if he gets them going, he can do wonders with them.
And obviously you've used a lot of substitutes, well, not a lot of substitutes, but a few of the substitutes on Saturday, and they all made an impact on the game. How important are the rest of the squad going to be with all these games coming up thick and fast?
Yeah, well, I don't really like making subs, but some of them they forced upon you. That's not to say I won't make them if I think it's necessary. I've done that earlier in the past, so that's not an issue. It's important that players keep themselves in tip-top condition so that when they're called upon, they can deliver. And thankfully, in recent weeks, the ones who have been called upon have delivered.
And it's going to be a long week, but an important week. After a win on Saturday, an away game tomorrow, another away game on Saturday, how important is it that momentum is gained?
Well, you're just trying to get as many wins as you can on the board. Everyone's playing each other. There aren't scraps, doesn't matter who you play. There's no easy games. There's no overly difficult games either. Every game is pretty similar. Every team can beat each other. You couldn't call any scores beforehand. And we're seeing that week in, week out. You need a little bit of luck, which we know, and a lot of application. And you can't fault us for our efforts. Sometimes we get things wrong a little bit, but it's not for them to try. And tomorrow will be exactly the same, as I'm sure Bristol Rovers will be as well. So, it's going to be an interesting game, and hopefully we can get what we're coming for, which is one.
And sadly, to finish on yesterday marks the year point since we last had fans watching, home fans watching us. How good will it be when they're back in home end, but also at these away games as well?
I think it's important for us that we get them back, for the club's viability. And I've said all along, football's not football without fans. And whether we're successful this year or not, it still won't be the same without the fans.